Smile.
But I'm not happy.
People
Why are you
are staring.
I don't want to do this.
You have to. They'll know
No one
something's
cares
wrong.
about your
Why
life.
is that bad?
Nobody cares. They won't understand.
Nobody
I want to go
cares.
home.
You'll hurt their feelings.
This was ridiculous. What are
Why
we even
just
talking
talking
about?
like
Just you want
keep
to keep
them
them
happy.
happy.
What if they
They're
think
gonna
you're
be
stupid?
mean.
Just keep them happy.
Just keep them happy. Just lie.
I'm not here to sugarcoat, life's already a bumpy road. Too much shelter causes pain, let's just be real honest. Things are gonna knock you down, avoidance will not help you out. Let's talk it through, here me and you, let's keep it real honest.
Hey, it's Samantha. You are listening to Real Honest, the podcast where I typically share candid thoughts and feelings about life, love, and relationships, God and church, adulting, the workplace, and everything between. I'm your host. My name is Samantha, and you probably won't always like me, but I will always be honest with you. If you are new here, this is a thing that I do sometimes. It's called The Story Behind the Song, where I listen to a song that I wrote long ago and tell you guys the story behind it in full transparency. This is to help me be consistent with publishing this podcast every week, because sometimes I don't have any content and it's kind of just something to do, but also because I don't have like a niche topic. That's why I called the podcast Real Honest, so that I could make it like basically my whole personality type is about being authentic and making sure that people like see and know the real me, so that if they decide that they don't like me, then like it doesn't matter and I don't need to know them. But it's not that they decided they don't like me because they didn't actually know me, or they like misinterpreted something. So in the spirit of being authentic and honest and personal growth and therapy and just my whole personal brand, you know, I figured one day long ago, what's a better display of growth than looking back at a song that you wrote when you were 15? So that's why that's happening. I haven't done one of these in a while because I did take, I think, a 2-month hiatus from the podcast in general, but also I've been going in order, like in the order that I wrote the songs is what I've been releasing them on here, outside of, you know, the EP from a couple summers ago. I have sprinkled those in along the way just for shits and giggles. But so the ones from high school specifically, I have been putting them on here in the order that I wrote them, in hopes that they would get better as we go and be less cringe. But I have explained on like previous episodes that I have lost most of the original files. So a lot of this stuff I have to re-record. So at first it was really, I was just like, I could just drag and drop them. And then I could like play them on my phone onto here, but now they're like completely gone. And so if I want to play them at all from this point forward, I have to take the time to re-record them. And sometimes that's really fun and sometimes it's not. Most of the songs are like teenage me depressed about a boy, and I find those very entertaining to look back on. Today's song I wrote for my parents, and it was like very sad to re-record. So this is going to be hit or miss. We'll see how this goes. Good luck to us all. This is from 2009, so I would have been 16, and this is called Crying All Alone.
You say that you love me, say I can count on you to be there for anything. Just call your name and you will drop anything. Come rushing to my side. So why now am I looking at you, feeling like you lied? You say that you'll never, ever far away. You say you'll protect me, and you keep the hurt away. But where are you now today? You've already gone, as I lie here with these tears, crying all alone. You say to me, darling, I just want what's best for you. So why does my heart hurt worse with everything you do? I wanna believe you, see you in a different light, but right now I need you need you by my side. You say that you'll never, ever far away. You say you'll protect me, and you'll keep the hurt away. But where are you now today? You've already gone, as I lie here with these tears, crying all alone. I just don't understand. I'm tearing up inside. I'm tired of crying and screaming. I'm trying with all my might. I just don't understand. Help me to understand how you walk away when I need you to help me. Say that you'll never, ever, ever far away. You say you'll protect me, and you'll keep the hurt away. But where are you now? Where are you today? You've already gone, as I lie here with these tears, crying all alone.
That was not as distressing as I was expecting it to be, but did you guys hear the Nick Jonas God at the end? I was cackling. I didn't record myself listening to that, but ooh, it was funny. Okay, so the setup for this song, basically, this song was in reaction to my parents' reaction to the whole situation with the boy that I wrote the last several songs about, where essentially, like, claimed to be into me but wasn't really into me, was doing a weird, like, trying to get in between me and Cameron because, like, we were trying to date, but this other dude was like, no, you want me. They were trying to make us hate it. It was so weird. Like, we were in high school. What do you expect? The whole thing was a hot mess, but he left, his friends allegedly left an extremely inappropriate voicemail on my phone. And I'm not going to give you the details of that voicemail because it's going to be really triggering to some people. So just know that it was super inappropriate. And I never got an apology or an explanation or anything from him. His mom called me at some point and said that his friends did it. He wasn't a part of it. He wasn't in the room. He didn't know it was happening. And I'm just like, I don't believe that, but okay. And then I know that my parents heard, I played the voicemail for my parents. And while they were very upset about it, like, their reaction was like, can you just stop talking to this person? And, like, can you just get over it? And I was, like, very in love with this boy. And my parents were just, I felt like they were being very dismissive. Like, they didn't validate or acknowledge, like, how I actually felt about him and, like, how hurt I was. And then the fact that, like, no one held him or his friends accountable for, like, the extremely inappropriate things that they said to me, like, is still wild to me. And I'm like, I still don't quite understand how or why it was handled so badly. I mean, at this point, it's not like I still need an apology from him. Like, I don't care now, but just, oh my gosh, listening to this just, like, brought me back to, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what was going on when I wrote this song. Okay, so let's break down the lyrics to Crying All Alone. So verse 1 says, you say that you love me, say I can count on you to be there for anything. Just call your name and you will drop anything. You'll come rushing to my side. So why now am I looking at you, feeling like you lied? This is really interesting because my mom and I, like, just had an argument about this, like, a week ago. But so I find it fascinating when people say, parents in particular, I'll do anything for you. Because, you know, I scratch the parents in particular, people in general, when anyone says, I will do anything for you. Because I don't think that most people mean that. And like a week ago when I was fighting with my mom about this, it was because I had asked her to go to therapy. She had refused. And like literally 2 sentences later, she was like, I'll do anything for you. And I was like, I just asked you to go to therapy and you refused. So clearly you won't. And it's funny because usually people mean like they'll do a lot for you. They will go to extremes, but pretty much all of us have a limit of sorts. So I try to not tell people that I will do anything for them. Aside from my 2 best friends that I genuinely believe I would do anything that they asked me to do. But also that's because I have a level of trust that I don't believe either of them would ask me to harm myself or another person or break the law. But there's a first time for everything. You never know. But so essentially this was me telling my parents, like, you say that you'll do anything, you say you'll help me, you say I can count on you, but actually I can't. Like, I'm hurting and you're not helping me. And so then the chorus is, you say that you're never, ever far away. You say you'll protect me. You'll keep the hurt away. But where are you now today? You've already gone as I lie here with these tears crying all alone. And essentially it was like, we had all these conversations. Well, I didn't, not all of these. We had one conversation about this boy. I had multiple conversations with his mom. I don't think that I talked to him again until, like, if we were 16 and 17 at this time, I don't think I had a conversation with him again until probably 10 years later. Like, he and I ran into each other or connected on Instagram or something, like, in our 20s, and he was, like, on the same chaotic bullshit. But at that point, I was like, I'm not dealing with this. But we never had a sit-down conversation about, like, what happened or why. But I was particularly, like, I don't really know what I wanted my parents to do, but I certainly wanted them to do a whole lot more than they did. I think they had a conversation with his parents, and then his mom had a conversation with me that was not satisfactory to me, and then that was kind of just it. Like, everybody just expected me to get over it. Verse 2 says, you say to me, darling, I just want what's best for you. Then how come my heart hurts worse with everything you do? I want to believe you, see you in a different light, because right now I need you by my side. And this was essentially just me crying out to be like, I don't feel like enough has been done here. I don't feel like I'm being supported. I don't feel like I'm being cared for well. The chorus is the same. And then the bridge lyrics are, I don't know what to do. I'm tearing up inside. I'm tired of crying and screaming and trying with all my might. I just don't understand. Help me to understand how you walk away when I need you to help me. And clearly I was very in distress. Very, very, oh my gosh. So sad, girl. And like, my heart breaks right now for 16-year-old me. God, I just wish that I could time travel and give her a hug. She was so sad. Like, she just was so sad and so broken. And I'm so, like, sad that she didn't have a therapist. She had Cameron. So she had Bestie. She survived. She made it through. But I don't know, just like listening to this back and reflecting on it, I'm kind of like, I no longer have a desire to be a parent, but it amazes me how anyone can just be a parent. And there's no, like, I mean, I think if you adopt, there are lots of hoops you have to jump through, but if you have a child, naturally, it's just like, all right, good luck, go do the thing, congratulations, and there's no, like, should you be doing that? Like, it's kind of like when people want couples to go to, like, marriage counseling, there should be, like, parent counseling. Like, are you ready for, let's make sure everyone goes, but then that gets into the government, like, controlling family planning and stuff, which I'm not down with. So let me not even go down that rabbit hole. But I think this is just a very clear example of something that I have discussed
on this podcast multiple times that like when I was younger, my parents always felt like I was playing with semantics, but I was like, no, we're defining things differently. So like if you say, I'll do anything for you, because you use the word anything, like in my mind, that means anything, anything at all, anything that I could ask or imagine, you will do. That is within your physical capability. And if it's not, then you'll figure it out. Whereas like when you say that you'll do anything for me, you mean you will give me money, you will physically show up and be in the room and stand next to me. I mean, within reason, because I feel like when I was in college and I was in distress, I often called my parents and was like, can you just like come for the weekend because I'm really sad? And they were like, come and do what? Like, are you okay? Do you need money? And I was like, come in and be with me. And they were like, why would we do that? Do you need money? Like it was always just, I was like, why can't you just hear what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of it is just different generations. We are different people. We were raised very differently. We have very different needs. But oh my gosh, this is like just so sad to me. So let's talk about growth. The growth aspect of this is that I learned that when my parents say they will do anything for me, they don't literally mean anything, and that's okay. You know, it's just something that I have to know when they say that. But also I think about where I was at this point in my life where I did have some very good friends. So like, although I felt like my parents really failed me in this situation, my friends really showed up emotionally and were very supportive and like consistent and there, and helped me through it. And so I was able to like identify those people and make sure I went to them. This also probably was the time in my life where I was really figuring out like what to share with family versus what to share with friends based on the relationships. I feel like a lot of my 20s was unlearning like false beliefs that I had acquired in my teens. And one of those, or childhood, so I should say like prior to college. And I feel like one of the beliefs that most kids grow up with is that like their parents know everything. Their parents have the answers to everything. Their parents can fix everything. Like what my parent says is law. And I think this was kind of around 16, 17 is when I first started to kind of break that and be like, do you guys not really know what to do either? And then when I was in my 20s and when I was like, oh my gosh, you guys don't know what to do either. And then now in my 30s, it's like, all right, we're all just out here winging it. But it's also, I wonder, this is why like I don't want kids because I don't know how I would communicate this. But like if you're a parent, this is a genuine question. Like how do you communicate to a child? Like you're trying to cultivate a safe environment and establish yourself as the authority figure that they should go to and as their safe place, but also don't instill in them the false belief that you're not just out here winging it too. You know, like we're all just out here trying to figure out life and trying to do our very best. And I think definitely like in the space when I wrote this song, I don't think I was angry. I think I was just hurt and I didn't fully understand it because I felt like my parents didn't love me. I felt like I was less valued than this boy and just the whole way that the situation was handled. And now, like, looking back on it, I think that they just were completely at a loss. Like, I think they probably did everything they could, which was talk to his parents. Maybe they talked to him and told him never speak to me again. I don't know. But I think that they really and truly just did not have the tools to help me through the emotional distress. And so I'm super grateful that I have the tools
now. And I'm not upset with my parents. I don't blame them. This was not like a traumatizing time that I was never able to grow from. It is something that I talked about when I started going to therapy. But yeah, it was an interesting time. Super sorry that was so depressing. I don't know if there was actually any learning here other than none of the other songs should be this sad. So like I'm flipping through my notebook right now, like what's next? Is there a fun one coming up? Oh yeah, The Next Boy is a favorite for sure. 2010 was a good that was a good year. Okay, that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know. Let's see. How do I like end this with a question? I want to know something that you guys have learned, like reflecting back on teenage you versus adult you. Is there any, like, what stands out to you as something that like you're super grateful for now that you can see that at the time maybe you were beating yourself up or beating someone else up, but now you can look back at the situation with grace for everyone involved and just be like, we all did the best we could. And unfortunately, our best was not great, but we all did the best that we could. And everybody in that situation was loved. It wasn't necessarily, demonstrated in the best way for everyone involved, but everybody was loved and everyone did care. And just, I'm curious, like what those moments are for you guys. You can text me, call me if you have my number. If not, you can email me at realhonestpod@gmail.com. See you next week I have no idea what the topic is, but I will figure it out between now and then. Okay, bye.
I'm not here to sugarcoat, life's already a bumpy road. Too much shelter causes pain, let's just be real honest. Things are gonna knock you down, avoidance will not help you out. Let's talk it through here, me and you, let's keep it real honest.